Hello, folks. Today we're doing lesson 92. Miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. It's 11 paragraphs long. We'll do 2 paragraphs at a time, and we'll do our best to finish in an hour, plus or minus 5 minutes. And I'll go ahead and read the first 2 paragraphs. Okay, miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. Paragraph 1. The idea for today is an extension of the previous one. That's the one we did last week. You do not think of light in terms of strength and darkness in terms of weakness. That is because your idea of what's seen means it's tied up with the body and its eyes and brain. Thus, you believe that you can change what you see by putting little bits of glass before your eyes. This is among the many magical beliefs that come from the conviction you are a body, and the body's eyes can see. Paragraph 2. You also believe the body's brain can think. If you but understood the nature of thought, you could but laugh at this insane idea. It is as if you thought you held the match that lights the sun and gives it all its warmth, or that you held the world within your hand, securely bound until you let it go. Yet this is no more foolish to believe than the body's eyes can see and the brain can think. All right. And that's the end of paragraph 2. Okay. The title, Miracles. We all know miracles are a shift in perception from a thought system based on fear to a thought system based on love. Are seen, aka experience, in light, meaning when seen through love's lens, God's lens, and light and strength. Strength is when you align your mind with the mind of God, because God is true power, right? So when you align with the mind of God, that is strength. Okay, so that's the title. All right. Let's see. The idea for paragraph 1, sentence 1. The idea for today is an extension of the previous one. Sentence 2. You do not think of light in terms of strength. Okay. You do not think of light in terms of strength and darkness in terms of weakness. Okay. So light is a symbol for source and for the thinking like God thinks through love's lens, and darkness is the ego's mindset. Okay, let's see. Different means. Paragraph 2, sentence 1. Sorry, I have a lot of notes here. Okay, this is among the sentence number 5, I guess paragraph 1. Yes. This is among the many magical beliefs that come from the conviction you are a body. There's a lesson 199 says, I am not a body, I am free. Okay, so you're not the body, you're just using the body. The body, according to the Course, is a communication device for the soul. Okay. Paragraph 2, sentence 2. You also believe that the body's brain can think. Okay. So it's not about believing that the brain can think. It's remembering that the brain, aka the mind, is split. Okay. So you have the ego part of the mind, and you have the God, let's call it, part of the mind. And so it's the mind that actually, the energies that flow through the mind, through the ego mind or through the God mind, that's what you experience. Any comments or questions in paragraph 1 and 2?
James, this is
Yes.
a bit more difficult to understand than the others.
Yes.
I feel uh, it's it's not easy for me. I mean, I could understand all the other lessons quite clearly, but this one is a little bit hard. I ju-
Yes.
is this saying like we can't think? We like the way we perceive our thoughts and body is is it's not that way.
Yes.
Is that the thing?
Yes. Because you think you're okay. You think you are the source of your thoughts. Okay.
Oh,
But here it's saying that it's either your past programs are the source of your thoughts, that's the ego's programming, or God is the source of your thoughts. So any loving thought that you have, it's really comes from God. And any unloving thought that you have really comes from the ego and its past programs. And so it's not the brain that's thinking, it's saying that it's the mind. And the mind in the Course of Miracles is a split mind. One is comes from source, and one comes from the ego. One is real, which is the one that comes from source, and one is unreal that comes from the ego. And so yes, this lesson will be a little convoluted, but we just want to get the main points. Okay, so it says the title of the lesson is Miracles. So you are seen in light. Okay, so the only way to see a miracle, which means the only way to shift perceptions from fear to love, is by seeing your situation through love's lens. Miracles are seen in light. So when you see through love's lens, that's where you can change the situation from a fear-based situation to a love-based situation. And then it says light, aka looking at the world through love's lens, aka true wisdom, is true strength. Light and strength are one. So when you align your mind with the mind of God, that's true strength. True strength doesn't have to do with a body. It has to do with your alignment with God and thinking in alignment with God. That's true strength. So here it says the magic belief, paragraph 1, sentence 5. This is among many magical beliefs that come from the conviction you are a body. Again, you are not a body, okay? You're just using a body, okay? The Bible calls the body the temple of the Holy Spirit, okay? The Course in Miracles says that the body is a communication device for the soul, okay? Um, and then it says, and the body's eyes can see. When it's saying the body's eyes, the body's a symbol of the ego's mindset, okay? So anytime you're seeing through the body's eyes, aka through the ego's mindset, you have been taught that what you're seeing is truly what's happening, but it's not truly what's happening. It's truly what's happening if you're having true vision, not looking at the situation through the body's eyes, aka through the ego's lens. Body's eyes equals ego's lens. In paragraph 2, you also, sentence 1, you also believe the body's brain can think. Okay, so the brain again is attached to the body. Anything that's related to the body is of the ego's mindset. So it's just trying to show you the difference between who you've been trained to believe that you are, aka your body, and who you truly are, which is God's child in creation, your soul. You're not the body, you're not the dust that returns to dust. You're the eternal. When you align with the eternal, you have true strength. When you're aligned with the temporal, you have weak. You become weak. Angela and Lunas, lesson 92, 92.
Thank you.
Yes. So don't get too technical with this lesson. Just try to get us certain points and see how you can implement the main part of the lesson, which is miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. Okay. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to see the miracle in every situation and an interaction. which means how can I see this interaction instead of through fear, through love's lens? And when I do that, I have true power, I have true strength. Okay? Does that assist at all? And sometimes in the course, the next few paragraphs explain the previous ones. So don't despair. Let us not despair. Any other questions to paragraph 1 and 2? Yes? No? No? Okay. I'm sorry, I think I hear something. Was that you, Joy? You're good?
Sorry.
Okay. Let's see. No more foolish complete. Okay. Would somebody like to read 3 and 4? Paragraph 3 and 4.
To read,
Okay. Thank you.
it is God's strength in you that is the light in which you see, as it is his mind with which you think. His strength denies your weakness. It is your weakness that sees through the body's eyes, peering about in darkness to behold the likeness of itself. The small, the weak, the sickly, and the dying, those in need, the helpless and afraid, the sad, the poor, the starving, and the joyless, these are seen through eyes that cannot see and cannot bless. Strength overlooks these things by seeing past appearances. It keeps its steady gaze upon the light that lies beyond them. It unites with light, of which it is a part. It sees itself. It brings the light in which yourself appears. In darkness you perceive a self that is not there. Strength is the truth about you. Weakness is an idol, falsely worshipped and adored, that strength may be dispelled, and darkness rule where God appointed that there should be light.
Thank you. Okay. Paragraph 3, sentence 1. It is God's strength in you that is the light in which you see. Okay, so you can use God, which is strength. Okay, so equate God to strength, okay? And equate ego to weakness. Okay, so anytime you're seeing the situation in alignment with the mind of God, that's strength. Anytime you're seeing the situation in alignment with the ego, that's weakness. Strength is equated to all of love's expressions, such as joy, peace, mercy, grace, and weakness, which is equals to the ego, is judgment, anger, frustration, hatred, resentment, fear, anxiousness, doubt. Okay. Let's see. Paragraph 3, sentence 2. His strength denies your weakness. Okay, so his strength, aka God's strength, denies who you've been programmed to believe that you are. Okay, you've been programmed to believe that you're somebody who's angry, can be angry, resentful, hateful, fearful, anxious. Okay, that's not who you truly are. That's your programming. Okay, so you're not that. You're not anything that the ego says you are. Okay, you're his strength. That's God's strength in you. That's light in what you see. 24. His strength denies your weakness. Okay, so you can either align with strength or weakness, with God or the ego. It is your weakness that sees through the body's eyes. Okay, so when it is your weakness, when you are aligned with the body's eyes, aka the ego's way of viewing the world, that's weakness. That's how you become weak. That's how you become conflicted. That's how you experience chaos and confusion. It's because you're using the body's eyes, aka the ego's mindset, aka your past programs. Paragraph 4, sentence 1. Strength overlooks these things by seeing past appearances. Okay, so strength is when your vision when you're seeing the world as it truly is, then you bypass what the ego is trying to convince you that how the moment is expressing itself. So let's say you see somebody being anxious, okay? That anxiety is not them. That's not who they truly are. It's just a learned behavior. And so your strength, when you align your mind with the mind of God, your strength can see that anxiety that they're experiencing is not them. The truth in them is behind that anxiety. The truth in them is only the love that God is. And so your practice is to overlook what people think, say, and do, and see only the truth in them as true. Any comments or questions in paragraph 3 and 4? Paragraph 4, sentence 3. It unites with light, of which it is a part. It sees itself. It brings the light in which yourself appears. Okay, so when you unite with light, in essence, it's saying you unite with the mind of God. Okay, light is truth. Truth is God. So anytime you're aligning with God, you're aligning with the light. Light is clarity. Light is understanding. Okay. So anytime you understand the situation, anytime you're at peace or joyous, you're aligning with the mind of God. Then it says, paragraph 4, sentence 7, strength is the truth about you. Okay. We already talked about what strength is, right? Strength is when you align with the mind of God, when you see the world through his eyes. That aligns you with true strength. Because who's God? God is all powerful, right? So when you're aligning your mind with the all powerful, that's true strength. And because you are what God is, and only what God is real, then strength is the only truth about you. Nothing weak about you is true. Okay? Anything you think about yourself that's weak, it's simply a past program that you have reinforced over and over again. Okay? That's not who you truly are. You're not weakness. No matter what your past says, your strength. Okay? So don't buy, let's say you're feeling anxious or worried or doubtful. Okay? Those are symbols of weakness because you are attaching yourself to your past programs, to the ego's way of viewing yourself. Okay? Remember, God is all, the ego is nothing. If you're aligned with all, the all powerful, that's strength. If you're aligned with nothing, that's weakness. That's the ego. You only have two choices. Keep it simple. God is strength. If you view the world through God's eyes, that's the way you're supposed to be viewing the world. That's what you were created to do. But if you're viewing the world through the ego's lens, that's weakness. But you're not weakness because the ego's not true. I know it's might be a little confusing there, but if you have any questions or comments. Okay, so strength is your natural state of mind. Okay. When you're not feeling strong, you're not attached to your natural state of mind. You're allowing the ego to think for you. Don't punish yourself for that. Just recognize when you're allowing the ego to think for you. And then stop supporting it with your time, focus, and energy. And then support only the truth in you as true, the strength in you as true. And then you'll be able to see the true miracles that are available to you in those moments. That's how you open the door to the miracle. It's by seeing what's truly available to you in those moments. Any questions or comments on paragraph 3 and 4? No? All right, would somebody like to read paragraph 5 and 6?
I'll read.
Okay, thank you, Luna.
Okay. Strength comes from truth and shines with light its source has given it. Weakness reflects the darkness of its maker. It is sick and looks on sickness, which is like itself. Truth is a savior and can only will for happiness and peace for everyone. It gives its strength to everyone who asks and limitless supply. It sees that lack in anyone would be a lack in all. And so it gives its light that all may see and benefit as one. Its strength is shared that it may bring to all the miracle in which they will unite in purpose and forgiveness and in love. Weakness, which looks in darkness, cannot see a purpose in forgiveness and in love. It sees all others different from itself, and nothing in the world that it would share. It judges and condemns, but does not love. In darkness, it remains to hide itself and dreams that it is strong and conquering and victor over limitations that but grow in darkness to enormous size.
Thank you. All right. Okay, paragraph 5, sentence 1. So now you can start to align certain words, okay? Strength. Paragraph 5, sentence 1, strength comes from truth. So strength, truth, and shines with light, light. Its source, source, God. Okay, so strength, truth, light, source. Okay, that's who you truly are. And then it goes to the second part, which is what the ego is. Weakness reflects the darkness, which is its maker. So weakness, darkness, and ego. Okay. So anytime you're aligned with the ego's mindset, you're aligned with weakness, with the darkness. Anytime you're aligned with God, you're aligned with the truth, with the light, with the strength. Okay. Paragraph 5, sentence 3. Truth is a savior and can only will for happiness and peace for everyone. Okay, so when you're at peace, when you're joyous, you're aligned with truth. Okay, so have joy and peace are your natural states of mind. Okay, it shows you peace and happiness show you that your mind is aligned with the mind of God. Okay, so when you're peaceful, when you're joyful, that shows you that you're in your natural state of mind. It shows you that your mind is aligned with the mind of God. The opposite, if you're not at peace, if you're not happy, it shows you that you're aligned with the ego's mindset, okay, which makes you feel weak, okay, makes you feel out of control, makes you feel confused and in conflict. So pay attention to where your mind is. Is my mind at peace? Okay, good. That means I'm thinking with God. Is my mind not at peace? Okay, that means that I'm thinking with the ego. Am I joyous? Okay, that means I'm thinking with God. Am I not joyous? That means I'm thinking with the ego. Sentence number 4 gives its strength to everyone who asks in limitless supplies. Sentence 5, it sees that lack in anyone will be a lack in all. Okay, so when you are aligned with the mind of God, you understand that if you see lack in anybody, everybody out there is simply a reflection of your internal condition. So everybody out there is reflecting your internal condition and conditioning. So if you see a lack in somebody, it's because you believe in the idea of lack within yourself. So the idea is to look at your brothers and sisters and see only the truth in them as true, and forgive or let go of everything else. And as you're doing so, you're reinforcing the truth in you as true. Paragraph 5, sentence 7. Its strength is shared that it may bring to all the miracles in which they will unite in purpose and forgiveness and love. Okay, so your purpose is to bring the miracle, aka the shift in perception, through forgiveness, peace, joy, and love. So forgiveness, peace, joy, and love are tools you can use to create the miracle, aka create the shift in perception. So let's say your brothers or sisters are judging you, right? How can I shift that situation from fear to love? I use a tool such as forgiveness. I forgive my brothers and sisters, and that helps me create the miracle and shift from a mindset based on fear to a mindset based on love. And that is your true purpose. And so ask yourself, how can I create a miracle in this situation? How can I shift the situation from fear to love? How can I use any of the eagle's, any of God's tools to shift the situation from fear to love? I can forgive. I can trust God more. Let's say somebody is very anxious and they're trying to make you feel anxious, or you're feeling anxious because they're anxious. How can you change? How can you create a miracle there in that situation? They're anxious, you're feeling anxious because they're feeling anxious. Practice remembering that everything is in God's hands, that all will be all right. And so you trust God more. And so by trusting God more, you create the miracle. Let's see. Paragraph 6, sentence 1. Weakness, which looks in darkness, cannot see a purpose in forgiveness and in love. So weakness, aka again, the ego's mindset, the ego, which looks in darkness. Okay, when you're using the ego to look at the world, you will only see through the dark lens of the ego. Cannot see a purpose in forgiveness. So the ego does not think that you or anybody else is worthy of forgiveness or love. So if you're withholding love or forgiveness from somebody else, that means that the ego is thinking for you. Okay. Any comments or questions in paragraph 5 and 6?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a comment or a question, but what if you like really don't care? Like, for instance, you're saying that how do you change the situation, right? How do you turn it into a miracle? If somebody's talking bad about you or is doing something that you don't like, I personally stop caring about that person. I don't really even care to forgive her, to forgive the person or not. What is that?
Well, remember, we're all one, right?
Hmm?
So each one of us out there is a part of you. Okay? Being all one. And so when you don't care about them, when you discard them, because you think that's the best way to do it, then you're discarding and insulting a part of yourself. Okay, so you have to find a way to deal with this situation in a more loving manner. And so if somebody judges you or whatever, don't discard them, don't hate them for that, don't just blow them off. Instead, with love, you forgive them. And you remind yourself, wait a second, this person out there who judged me, in reality, they are only love. Okay? The thing is that their past programming is in control of their mind and thinking, and therefore they're judging me. But it's not the truth in them who's judging me. It's their past programs. And so the ego has taken control over their mind. And now that the ego has taken control over their mind, they're viewing the world through the ego's lens. It's judgment-centric, fear-based lens. and now they're judging you. So you see, they judged you, but it wasn't the truth in them that judged you. It was their past programming that judged you. So you forgive their past programs, and you look at only the truth in them as true, which is the love in them as true. And you remind yourself, okay, they co-created a journey with God, therefore their journey is perfect for them. My journey is perfect for me. And so I'm just gonna, okay, they judge me, that's fine, no big deal. I forgive them. When I forgive them, I have peace. And now instead of any sort of conflict when you think of them, now you have peace when you think of them. So don't discard your brothers or sisters. Instead, forgive them. Because discarding somebody is kind of like it's like throwing away trash kind of thing, you know? When you discard trash. It's never going to make you feel good when you discard a person. Okay? And so your brothers and sisters, no matter how asleep they are, they're not trash. And so see them as God created them, which is they're just love. It's just that they're asleep. You're not going to judge your brothers or sisters because they're having a nightmare inside their sleep. Okay? They're asleep. Let them sleep. Give them the space to sleep, but with love. Always act from a place of love, because whatever you offer them, you reinforce inside yourself. Okay? If you discard them, you will find some parts of yourself worthy of being discarded, and no part of you is worthy of being discarded, because only you are only love, and so too are they. So see them as only love, forgive them, and set yourself free from those judgments. Does that help?
Thank you. Yes.
All right. Any other comments or questions on paragraph 5 and 6? Let's see, paragraph 6, sentence 2. Excuse me, sentence 3. It judges, okay, I'll read sentence 2 and 3. It sees all others different from itself and nothing in the world that it would share. It judges and condemns, but does not love. Okay, so when you're doing the work of the ego's mindset, you judge and condemn. Anytime you're judging and condemning, that means the ego is taking control of your mind. Okay, but does not love. So when you're not loving, that means the ego is in control of your mind. When the ego is in control of your mind, you cannot create miracles. Okay. Just pay attention where your mind is, because there are places within your mind where you can create miracles, and there's places within your mind where you cannot create miracles. In this lesson, we're trying to create miracles. Miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. When we create miracles, we realize our own strength, the strength we have to lead this world to a place of peace, joy, and love. That's true strength, true power. Questions and comments, paragraph 5 and 6? No? All right. Anybody like to read paragraph 7 and 8?
I can.
Thank you.
It fears and it attacks and hates itself, and darkness covers everything it sees, leaving its dreams as fearful as itself. No miracles are here, but only hate. It separates itself from what it sees, while light and strength perceive themselves as one. The light of the strength is not the light you see. It does not change and flicker and go out. It does not shift from night to day and back to darkness till the morning comes again. The light of strength is constant, sure as love, forever glad to give itself away, because it cannot give but to itself. No one can ask in vain to share its sight, and none who enters its abode can leave without a miracle before his eyes, and strength and light abiding in his heart.
Thank you. All right, let's see. Paragraph 7, sentence 1. It fears, aka the ego fears, and it attacks and hates itself. Okay, so if you're aligned with any type of fear, when you're aligned with any type of or sort of attack or any type of hate, know that the ego is in control of your mind. Your past programs are in control of your mind. And if the ego's in control of your mind, then you're not in control of your life. If the ego controls your thoughts, it controls your mind, it controls your life. Okay? And when that happens, who are you? You're just a zombie. You're just walking blind. Okay, you're not here. You're not here to be blind. Shall the blind lead the blind? Will they not fall both into the ditch? A little verse from the Bible. So don't be blind. You have another choice. You can recognize when practice recognizing when the ego's in control of your thoughts. Stop fueling the ego's thoughts. Stop feeling fears and attacks and hate. And the time, focus, and energy that you're dedicating to those thoughts, stop them. Take back control of your mind. And then act from that place of love. Act from the place of light. And it says, and darkness covers everything it sees. So again, when you use the ego's lens, it's dark lens. How's the world going to appear if you're using a dark lens? Dark, right? There you go. It's only dark. It's dark not because the world is dark, because you're using a dark lens. Okay? So all you have to do is put this dark lens down, set it aside, and put in God's glasses, love's lens, light's lens. And when you put in light's lens, love lens, what's the world going to look like? More loving, more light filled. And so who has the power? Does the world have the power, or do you have the power? You have the power, because you can choose which lens you put on, and that's how the whole world appears. You have the power, not the world. Okay. Let's see. Paragraph 7, sentence 3. It separates itself from what it sees, while light and strength perceive themselves as one. Okay, this is 16. Okay. So what you do to others, you experience yourself. Light and strength perceive themselves as one. Okay, so when you're using light and strength, you're seeing everybody out there as a part of you. Okay, light and strength are one. See the light in somebody else, you reinforce that light within yourself, because they're one with you, right? They're one with you. So whatever you see in them, you reinforce inside yourself. Okay, see them as only light, and you will reinforce the light inside of you. See them as chaos inducing, conflict inducing, and you will reinforce those false ideas within you. Okay. Let's see. Any comments or questions? Paragraph 7 and 8. Okay, let's see. Paragraph 7, sentence 5. It does not change and flicker and go out. Okay, so your light does not change, flicker, and go out. You are who you were created by God to be. Okay. Who you were created by God to be is who you are and who you will always be, and who you have always been. You're not going to flicker out. Your truth never flickers out, never goes out. Okay. It does not shift from night to day and back to darkness till the morning comes again. So your mood, when you're aligned with the mind of God, is not going to change. Take care, Mike. Thanks. So here it says, it does not shift from night to day and back to darkness. So you're not going to go from chaos to peace to chaos when you're aligned with the mind of God. When you're aligned with the mind of God, it's only peace. When you're aligned with the eagle's mindset, you go up and down and up and down and up and down. Believing in your truth, your illusion, your truth, your illusion. Paragraph 8, sentence 1. The light of strength is constant, sure as love, forever glad to give itself away because it cannot give but to itself. Okay, so being 01, I give to you, what I give to you, I experience myself. Forever glad to give away because it cannot give but to itself. Okay, again, we're all one, right? So whatever I give to you, I experience myself. Okay? Offer your brother love and compassion and mercy and grace. When you offer that to your brothers and sisters, who does that? Those energies flow through first. Obviously, it comes from God, flows through you, and it's offered to your brothers and sisters. So kindness, joy, mercy, peace, grace, all of love's expressions, the source is not you. You're not the source of those energies and emotions. God is. And so when you're offering mercy and kindness and grace to another brother or sister, God is flowing through you because God is the source of mercy, grace, compassion, kindness. So the source flows through you, right? You align with the mind of God, and then you offer it to others. But as you're offering it to others, it heals you because you're allowing God to flow through you. Okay? So you want true healing? Offer only what God is to your brothers and sisters. Okay? Simple way to heal yourself. Now, if you want to feel sick, then offer them your judgment, your anger, your hatred, or your resentment. Because where does that come from? That comes from the ego's mindset, right? From the darkness, from the delusion, from the false. Okay. So if you take those thoughts, again, those thoughts do not come from you because you're not that. You're only love. Okay. But if you use the ego's tools flow through you, darken you, then the cup runneth over, right? Whatever's inside of you flows out. And so you use these tools of hate, you fill yourself with hate, and all you see is hate. Okay? So you want to drink from God's cup and heal, or you want to drink from the ego's cup and poison yourself? Okay? Whatever you offer to your brothers or sisters is what you experience yourself. Heal or poison yourself. That's what you do, consciously or not. That's what you do every day. You either heal or poison yourself. And then people wonder why they are sick because they judge and they have all that judgment and anger and resentment flowing through them all day, poisoning them. And then they wonder why they're sick because they're doing, quote unquote, everything right. Look to your source, my friends. Ask yourself, what is the source of my thoughts? Is it the living waters? Or is it a pond that's not even flowing? Let's see. Paragraph 8, sentence 2. No one can ask in vain to share its sight, and none who enters his abode can leave without a miracle before his eyes, and strength and light abiding in his heart. Again, what I offer you, I reinforce within myself. Any comments or questions on paragraph 7 and 8? All right, 9 and 10. Would somebody like to read 9 and 10? Nobody's left awake.
My book is in Spanish, so I cannot read.
Okay, that's fine. All right, I'll go ahead and read number 9 and 10. Now, paragraph 9. The strength in you will offer you the light and guide your seeing so you do not dwell in idle shadows that the body's eyes provide for self-deception. Strength and light unite in you, and where they meet, yourself stands ready to embrace you as its own. Such is the meeting place we try today to find and rest in. For the peace of God is where yourself. His Son is waiting now to meet itself again and be as one. Paragraph 10. Let us give 20 minutes twice today to join this meeting. Let yourself be brought unto yourself. Its strength will be the light in which the gifts of sight is given you. Leave, then, the dark a little while today, and we will practice seeing in the light. Closing the body's eyes and asking truth to show us how to find the meeting place of self and self, where light and strength are one. All right. Paragraph 9, sentence 3. Such is the meeting place we try today to find and rest in. For the peace of God is where yourself. His Son is waiting now to meet itself and be gone. And be as one. Okay, so 20. Okay. So ask yourself, how can during the day, ask yourself, how can I allow God to flow through me and throughout my day? Okay. Such is the meeting place we try to find and rest in. For the peace of God is where yourself, His Son, is waiting now to meet itself again and be one. Okay, so how can you be one with God? Yes, ask yourself throughout the day, okay, God, what can I do in this situation to represent you, aka to represent love? And so in each moment and situation, simply ask love, how can I express you now? What expression of love does my brother and sister need right now? Okay. So in any situation, simply ask love. Step back and ask love, what can I do? Think, say, and do right now, and then think, say, and do only that. That's how you unite with God. You humble yourself, you invite love in, God in, and then you express love, aka you express God. You share God with your brothers and sisters. And when you share God with your brothers and sisters, you reinforce God within yourself. And you remind yourself that you're worthy of God's companionship because you're using Him throughout the day. You're using His energy of love throughout the day. Paragraph 10, sentence 3. Its strength will be the light in which the gifts of sight is giving you. Okay, its strength will be the light in which the gift of sight is giving you. So true vision is God's sight. God's sight is the light in you. When you're seeing through God's eyes, you're seeing what's truly there. Light is another way of saying understanding. So when you're seeing through God's eyes, you have true understanding. And when you have true understanding, you have true peace. Paragraph 10, sentence 4. Leave then the dark a little while today, Okay, leave the eagle's mindset a little while today. We will practice seeing in the light. We will practice seeing through God's eyes, closing the body's eyes, okay, the ego's mindset, and asking truth, asking God to show us how to find the meeting place of self, how to remember who I truly am. And so you're asking God, who am I truly in the situation? And then God tells you, you are love. You just share that love with your brothers and sisters. That will strengthen your connection to me. Okay. Any comments or questions on paragraph 9 and 10? No comments, questions? Paragraph 9 and 10?
No.
All right. Paragraph 11. Would somebody like to read number 11? All right.
I can.
Okay, thank you.
Morning and evening, we will practice thus. After the morning meeting, we will use the day in preparation for the time at night when we will meet again in trust. Let us repeat as often as we can the idea for today and recognize that we are being introduced to sight and led away from darkness to the light where only miracles can be perceived.
Thank you. Okay. We are being introduced to sight. Okay. And led away from darkness. So we are being introduced to the way that God sees the world. Pretty nice, huh? And led away from darkness, led away from the way the eagle sees the world.
Mhm.
Okay, remember, you can only see the world two ways, through God's eyes or through the eagle's lens. One is light, one is darkness. And so here in this exercise, we're being introduced to how can I see as God sees? And we talked a little bit about that. Through forgiveness, compassion, mercy, grace. Seeing through love's expressions, that's how God sees. So God is perfect love, right? So how does perfect love see you? He only sees as perfect loving creation, right? Because if God is love, then who are you? You have to be love. You have to be what God is, right?
Mhm.
And so God sees you only as his loving creation. Okay, so now take it another step. How do you see your brothers and sisters? Are you seeing them as God sees you? If you do, then you're only going to see them through love's lens and see them with some expression of love, kindness, compassion, mercy, grace, healing, hope, understanding. Okay, so practice seeing your brothers and sisters as God sees you. To have true sight, to be able to create the miracle. You want to be a miracle worker?
Mm-hmm.
Then see your brothers and sisters only as God sees you. That's how you become a miracle worker. See and react to your brothers and sisters only as God sees you. And God sees you with his mercy and with his grace. And remember, what is grace? Grace you're given grace by God, not because of anything you do. It's simply because of who you are. Okay? So if God gives you grace, wouldn't it be somewhat logical to offer that same grace to your brothers and sisters? If you want to think in alignment with the mind of God, if you want to connect to God in each moment and situation, if you do offer your brothers and sisters what God offers you in each moment and situation. Okay? And then be grateful to your brother for helping you practice realizing that you can become a miracle worker. Anytime they trigger you in your heart, say thank you. Because all you're doing is giving me an opportunity to practice remembering that I can treat you as God treats me. The more you treat your brothers as God treats you, the more aligned you are with God, the more peaceful and joyful you will be, and the more grateful you will become to God. Okay. So you want to feel closer to God, treat his children like God treats you. It's not that hard, folks. God is available to you in each moment in interaction. So each moment in interaction is giving you the opportunity to practice becoming a miracle worker. How can I create a miracle in this situation? Anytime you lack peace, ask yourself, how can I create a miracle in this situation? Anytime people are feeling anxious and worried and doubtful, how can I create a miracle? Maybe I can show them how I trust God and how I have peace. And then they can see how I react. And then they can see, well, maybe there's a better way to react. So maybe I can react like he's reacting or she's reacting. When they see you at peace because you trust God fully, these people in the anxious state will say, wait a second, I want to be like he is. I want to be at peace too. How is he at peace? Okay, he told me he's at peace because he trusts God in this situation. So let me now, instead of supporting my fears with my time, focus, and energy, let me support the idea that I can trust God more. And you see, the more you trust God, the less fear you have. You trust God more, you have less fear. Trust God more, you have less fear. Trust God even more, you have less fear. Trust God fully, you have no fear. Same thing with anxiousness. Trust God, less anxiousness. Trust God more, you have less anxiousness. Trust God fully, you have no anxiousness. Place the moment in God's hands. Align with some expression of love and then be that in each moment and interaction. And the lesson is miracles are seen in light. And light and strength are one. So practice recognizing your true strength. And your true strength is when your mind is aligned with the mind of God. That's true strength. That's when you become a true miracle worker. And you become a miracle worker because you see through love's lens, through light. Miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. Any comments or questions? No? Everybody enlightened enough today? Too much light? Too much enlightenment? Well, folks, I hope I was somewhat useful in this lesson. It was lesson 92. 9.2. Miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. The video will be up tomorrow at 5 p.m. if you want to review it. I know it's not the easiest exercise in the book, but if you get the basics of it, I think it could be very useful in your life. To do what God created you to do, which is to be the light of the world in each moment, in situation, and interaction. All right, I think that does it for tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
James.
Yeah.
It was a
Thank you.
great class.
Thank
Thank you.
It's a great class.
Thank you. You'll take care now.
Thank you.